Death is a disease. It's like any other. And there's a cure. A cure. I will find it.
We surprised him in the Bronx. We shot him in the head, stuffed him in the trunk, then dumped him for good.
Those were the chilling words of a Gambino capo who was the immediate superior to mobster Roy DeMeo, who ran the famous DeMeo crew. His name, Nino Gaggi. Nino Gaggi's father's cousin was mobster Frank Scalise, a founding member of the Gambino family and the man who helped introduce Gaggi into mob life. Scalise helped Gaggi obtain a job as a ghost employee at a truck dock. Being a no-show employee helped Gaggi avoid prosecution, as he could prove he held a legitimate job with taxable income, but it would also help him move into loan sharking and other mob activities. In 1957, the Gambino family underwent a dramatic change in leadership. In June, Scalise was shot and killed at a fruit stand in the Bronx. Then in October, boss Albert Anastasia was shot in a barber's chair at a Manhattan hotel. Immediately after the Anastasia murder, Gaggi ordered his family to stay home for a few days. Gaggi's close associate, underboss Carlo Gambino, became the new family boss. In October 1960, Gaggi committed his first murder for the Gambino family. He served on a hit squad that murdered mobster Vincent Squilenti, the man who probably killed Scalise. According to Montiglio, Gaggi described the murder.
We surprised him in the Bronx, we shot him in the head, stuffed him in the trunk, then dumped him for good.
Gaggi has now made his bones and was inducted into the Gambino family. By the mid-1960s, Gaggi partnered with mobster Roy DeMeo, who was running a stolen car ring in the Brooklyn neighborhoods of Flatlands and Canarsie. DeMeo had connections with the Lucchese family and a reputation as a capable and resourceful earner. A decade on, and Roy DeMeo would end up working for Gaggi. And despite Gaggi not being a part of most of the DeMeo crew murders that led on from his period, he did get involved in some. In late 1976, a leadership meeting was held at Gaggi's house after the death of Carlo Gambino. It was here that Paul Castellano became the new Gambino boss. In turn, Castellano agreed to retain Della Croce as underboss. Gaggi was promoted to capo of Castellano's old crew, and from that point, Gaggi remained loyal to Castellano, hoping to become an underboss. On June 7th, 1978, Gaggi and 9 other mobsters were charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and fraud charges as a result of a year-long federal investigation into the bankruptcy of a theater in New York. The majority of the evidence in this case came from wiretapped conversations. Fortunately for Gaggi, he never said anything incriminating. In December 1978, Gaggi was cleared of all the charges. In late 1979, Gambino Captain James Eppolito told Castellano that Gaggi and DeMeo were drug trafficking and even accused Gaggi of being a police informant. Eppolito asked Castellano for permission to murder Gaggi and DeMeo. However, Castellano broke his own rules and sided with Gaggi and DeMeo. He then gave them permission to murder both Eppolito and his son. Shortly after this, Gaggi and DeMeo shot and killed both Eppolito's father and son. However, a witness alerted an off-duty policeman who saw Nino Gaggi walking away from the murder scene. Gaggi was lucky because a shootout with the police officer broke out, and Gaggi was shot in the neck but survived. He was then charged with murder and attempted murder, but got away with just an assault charge and a maximum time of 15 years in prison. Gaggi didn't spend much time behind bars, however. He had bribed a juror to make false claims of government misconduct during the trial. This prison time would eventually be the downfall of Gaggi, as DeMeo's operations had been targeted by the FBI. Some of his crew had turned informants, and with fear of DeMeo turning in, he was arrested. Castellano decided to put a contract on DeMeo's head. It is believed that Gaggi was either the killer or had a major part in the killing. DeMeo crew members that had turned informants slowly began giving evidence on Gaggi, and he, over the next 10 years, would be in the firing line for several indictments from racketeering to murder and everything in between. While being held at a correctional center for trial, Gaggi died of a heart attack. Gaggi had apparently told a guard that he was suffering with chest pain, but the guard did nothing to act on this. He then suffered a major heart attack, but was not transported to the hospital for several hours. He died on the same day. Gaggi's death sparked a controversy that eventually resulted in better medical conditions in New York City prisons, and his wife successfully sued for negligence. Had he been sent to the hospital quickly, he might have survived. You're now rocking with the best, NCS Costa Nostra.
Welcome to the Sting of Voz.
The search is over. Every series helps bring you a step closer to the life of the mob without dangerous exposure of what went down, plus Mobster of the Month. Original content if you're searching on a hunt for the who's who or the best dressed guys, the type of guns they use, the feuds and mob wives. We supply everything as soon as you log on to the National Crime Syndicate.com. From John Gotti to Don back to Mustache Pete, Big Joe, Al Capone, and Maya Lansky. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, cause the code of silence here no longer applies. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned in, cause over here we like to keep this thing moving.